So glad you could be with us. I am with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Where We Are, haven't been here for a while, the Sovereign. There's an upstairs, downstairs. We're downstairs. It's a little dark and spooky because Halloween was just this past Wednesday. You've also got Vermilion and Columbia Firehouse in Old Town. And Vermilion, I can't remember if I mentioned this, got a nice little write-up in the Washington Post recently. Google that. Greg, it is always good to see you.
You too, Brennan.
Happy November. What's on tap this week?
We have a great November brew from the Bruery, one of our old favorites that's now local. They of course opened up a little bottle shop and distribution center in DC in Union Market, which has been really very, very cool. And so this is actually a selection from one of their clubs. They have a number of different beer clubs that you can subscribe to, so check it out online at the Bruery. And you can get these kind of one-off bottles. This one's called Mash and Spumoni.
Potatoes and ice cream?
Yes, exactly.
All right. Oh.
So Mash is the bourbon barrel-aged barley wine that they make, and so this one is with Spumoni flavors.
Oh, wow.
So the base beer, tons of caramel, toffee, toast, dark bread, barley wine, picks up bourbon flavors, a little bit of nice oxidation, kind of like figs and raisin. And then the Spumoni aspect is with pistachios and some tart cherry juice. So it's cool. It's not a sour beer, but it's got a little bit of a juicy cherry flavor to it.
These guys are amazing. Did they make the same thing twice? Did they have a
very rarely.
Beer?
No. I mean, they don't. I mean, I think they are all about variants. They're doing all these different things all the time, and it's very, very, very cool.
And how are things going with the place over in Union Market? Because
they're going great.
You have a place there, Red Apron.
Red Apron, Union Market, yeah. And we like to pour some of their beers too, because they're our buddies, and it's fun to people will come from there to drink their beers with us and then go back over. They're doing very well. So the brewery's been around since 2008. Patrick Rue, who's a good friend of ours, started it back then, and from the start they really made a name for themselves making strong beers, lots of barrel-aged beers. Black Tuesday is their huge, really high-octane bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout that gets a lot of notoriety. And so then they open a second facility to concentrate on funky beers. That's the Bruery Terru. And then just recently they started a third label to make hazy IPAs called Offshoot. So they have kind of three different labels underneath the Bruery umbrella, and in DC now we have a place to pick all of them up. And they were one of the progenitors of the Bottle Club, and so if you sign up for the Preservation Society or the Reserve Society or the Hoarder Society, you get a certain amount of exclusive bottles. It used to be you'd have to go out to California to get them, or have somebody out there who could ship them to you. Now they have an East Coast distribution center in Union Market that's doing quite well.
Also, if you hear this report soon enough, there's something going on at Rustico in Alexandria, Saturday, November 3rd. So just go online and check that out.
Novemberfest, yeah. Best Virginia breweries pouring a bunch of great beers.
Now, some of you may hear this too late. I apologize, but if you see this on Friday the 2nd, you may have time.
Yeah.
Now, back to this delicious beer, and it is, what would you pair it with?
It's a dessert beer, of course, so you can pair it with your any manner of pie, cheesecake, whatever, and then go to breakfast. This would be awesome with Belgian waffles and a stack of pancakes with maple syrup. But for the savory, dark meats like lamb and steak are going to work well, especially with that tart cherry aspect, and the sweetness kind of glazes. Duck confit, pork belly would all be very great. But also, I like this with some veg, like roasted beets with a little bit of goat cheese or asparagus. I think it's the nuttiness of the beer that works really well with those root vegetables.
Beets and goat cheese, my favorite. I'll get right on that. But seriously, if you get a chance to see this, although I guess you have to be. That's the problem. You have to be in the club.
Yeah, you will see it around on draft.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
If you try it out, it's good. It would be definitely worth your time. Greg, thank you as always.
Of course.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.